Hey, 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 welcome back. It is Monday. I love Monday. How are you doing, Sarah?
Oh my God. It is the last day of January. Like, I know we say this like every freaking episode, but holy, like, if this doesn't give you perspective on how fast time goes, I don't know what will.
Oh my
Like,
God, right?
oh, we had a big snowstorm here this weekend, and then it got warm, and so it started to melt, but then it got really cold. So now everything is ice, and Donnie and I were just sitting on the couch. We watched like the new Spider-Man, and like it was so good. But then we're sitting on the couch, and I'm like, spring is gonna be here. It's gonna be here so soon. And I'm like, we need to start planting our garden. We need to start planting those seeds and watching the magic happen, right? Getting ready to plant them in the spring, because February is gonna go by like that because it's such a short month.
Right? It's so fast. I think like this happens every year where Christmas is over, you're in between like Christmas and New Year's and you're planning your resolutions and all the goals that you're going to do for the year, and then boom, it's the end of January and you're like, "Holy shit, that went by fast."
And
And
did
you're
you get
still
anything?
I was going to say, and you're still kind of sitting there and your goals haven't moved, but it literally puts into perspective of how fast life goes, and it really, really does. And it's kind of exciting to be able to witness it, like to see it on that level of awareness, because it shows you quickly too that if you just do a little bit every day to move you towards your goal, you can see how quick it could happen,
If you did 1% every single day, you would already be 31% closer.
right?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But we tend to wait, right? We tend to, we were talking about this morning on our mastermind. We were talking about mindset. And yesterday, my ego just took over in my head and was telling me, oh, you don't need to do this and you don't need to do that and just stay comfortable. And like literally, I was having this conversation inside my head. And then, I had to tell it to shut the fuck up and get to do what I needed to do to reach my goals. And so I'm excited that we're talking about this today, about the magnet of money, because you're a magnet to everything in your life, to the positivity, to the negativity, everything in your life. I'm looking at my so I love The Secret. I love The Secret. Like, I postponed watching this movie, probably, yeah, The Greatest Secret. I'm reading The Power right now. I got it here. But I postponed watching that movie because I thought it was fluff and BS and bullshit. Like, I did not watch it until I hired a mentor and got into it and got into Bob Proctor, and he talked about it in one of his lessons that I did. And so I ended up watching it. Then I read the book, then I read The Greatest Secret, then I got The Power, and then I have two gratitude journals of The Secret, and then I have The Secret calendar. Like, I'm in love with The Secret because I understand how it works, because I'm a very analytical person. I need to know how things work, right? Including the universe. But the universe is just numbers, it's just math. That's all it is, right? It's physics. And so my calendar here today says, according to the law of attraction, the path is uh, eradicating disease is not to fight it. If you decide you're going to fight a disease, your focus is on fighting the disease, and we attract what it is that we're focusing on. Allow the doctors you have chosen to do the work and keep your mind focused on well being. Think thoughts of well being, speak words of well being, and imagine yourself completely well. And it's so true, right? Because sometimes, you get sick and you're just focused on that. How can I get better? And you're like vitamin E and vitamin C and all these shots and all these drinks, but you're focusing on that instead of focusing on a healthy body.
Yeah, it's so true. And even like with your goals and everything that you're wanting, right? So it's so it's it's so exciting to sit down and like write it all out and create that big picture in your mind of what it is you want. But the the standstill happens when you're looking for it. So the biggest thing and the biggest piece of advice I could give you regarding setting goals, especially since we're 31 days into the new year, and like, did you set goals? Are they moving? are you moving towards them? The biggest thing is when you have these goals in your mind, you literally just set it and forget it,
Yeah.
right? So you just set it. No, you have to have the absolute knowing and the belief that it's going to happen, but it's not where you're just going to have these goals. You're going to sit down every day and be like, it didn't happen today. It's not happening. It's not coming. I don't see it. We're not moving towards it. And you're looking so hard for the results. It's not going to happen, right? If you picture your life from like a bird's eye view, right? So you set these goals and then you just look at everything. You don't pinpoint it on one thing and literally look for the needle to be moving along. You just set it, forget it, know, and let it be. Have you ever heard of just let?
My
Like
favorite.
literally just let.
So I'm reading, well, I'm finishing off Rich Dad's Poor Dad's Guide to Investing, and I'm at a part where he talks about goals, and he talks about his goal card, and he talks about meeting his best friend every New Year's to see if the goal that they wrote on their goal card. And I use mostly, this is my permanent one, but I use mostly just these index cards. And he talks about the importance of writing it out every single day, because when you are writing it out, then you're focused on it, right? Then you're seeing it every single day. So we were taught to write it out in the morning and then carry it in our pocket all day. So when you're in the bathroom, you take it out and then read it before you go to bed, right? So it's always on your mind, because it is tough to get out of your head. It really is tough, and I know that it can be challenging, but you are meant to be, you know, on top of the world. Like, you are not meant to struggle. You are meant to have everything. And so if you have a reminder, right? Like, some people have calendars with like positive quotes on it, and some people like read books and or a song, right? Or something that lifts you up. But when you have your goal and focused in front of you, it doesn't really give you time to focus on the negative, right? Because
No.
you're always focused, because you look at it, you see what your life could be like with that goal, and then you start feeling it, and then the natural laws of the universe will come together to give you what it is that you're looking for, whether it be positive or negative.
Mm-hmm. So, like what I just said and what Sarah says, you might be thinking like Kaylee just said, don't think about it, and Sarah's saying focus on it. But the difference is you need to focus on the end goal,
Yes,
not
always.
not the result that you're currently getting. You need to focus on the end goal because that's going to get you, like Sarah just said, in the feeling of accomplishing that. That's going to get you in the feeling of the vibration and the level that you operate on once you've reached that goal. Because when you're so focused on that, you're going to get into that feeling automatically when you see what you wrote down, right? But when you set goals and you can see it and it's you can kind of believe it, but you're too focused on the result and it not happening quick enough, that's what keeps you stuck. So you have to keep, yeah.
Right? So like, it's like saying, I want a multi-million dollar business, and then you don't do the work, right? You don't message people, you don't send emails, you don't do a funnel, you're not doing the work, and then you're looking, why isn't this here? Why isn't it here yet? Right? Or asking for a sign, and Kaylee will know this, asking for that sign, and you're looking for that sign. You ask the universe, God, spirit, for that sign, right? Show it to me in divine timing to let me know I'm on the right path. But then you're like looking at it, you're like turning over stones, and you're like checking things, and you're focused on looking for that sign that you won't see it. And then when you like Kaylee said, it'll show up. It's the
Yeah,
law.
so crazy story about that. So I always like I have so much belief in what I'm doing and that I'm on the right path, but it's really cool to ask for a sign just to affirm that, everything's working out and to see the universe give it to you. So that's what I did this past week. Is I was literally sitting on the toilet and I was thinking about life like I always do when I'm on the toilet. And I was thinking, okay, I totally believe in what it is that I'm doing. I know that it works because there's so many people already telling me how transformational it's been for them. But I said, just give me the sign of a ladybug. And I'm thinking I never see ladybugs. So if a ladybug shows up, that'd be cool. And then from that moment, I was thinking about ladybugs all day, and I was looking for them in cartoons that the kids were watching, and I was looking for it on social media. I was waiting for a ladybug to pop up, and I was like, there's no ladybug, because I was so focused on not seeing a ladybug until it wasn't last night, it was Saturday night. I was like, you know what? Just let it go. Like, right? Let. So my son last night was bouncing around. He wouldn't go to bed. He was hyped right up. And he wanted to read a book. So he wanted to read Think and Grow Rich. And then he reads probably about 2 paragraphs with me, and then he gets bored. But I love reading it to him. And he said, no, Mama, I'm going to read my book. So I'm like, okay, just lay in your bed. I'll be right back. I'll go grab a book. So I went in his closet where all of his toys are, and I was rummaging through his big stack of books in the dark, and I just grabbed one and I went and sat on his bed. And as soon as I sat down and looked at it, it was a book about ladybugs. Never seen it in my life. Literally a bunch of ladybugs. And I was like, wow. Right? So when you have the knowing, ask for the sign and just let it happen, it shows up in your life. And that's what I mean about not being like down here with a microscope looking for everything, pinpointing everything that you want, but take yourself into a bird's eye view of your life and just know that everything's going to happen the exact way you ask for it.
Yeah.
That's key. The way you ask for it.
So, I have a story about, oh my God, 2014. In 2014, I was laid off from my job. And it was the first time that I was on unemployment. It was the first time anything like this has happened to me. And, I'm like in my late 20s, and like, actually, I might have even been in my 30s. But anyways, I was unemployed, and I wanted to work for the government. Like, I was dead set. I'm like, I want to work for the government. I'll have a pension. I'll have benefits. I'll have seniority. I'll have a set schedule. Like, that's what I wanted to do. And so I applied for the transit side of it, where I would sell tickets. I'm like, I could sell tickets. That's easy, right? And it's good money. And so for 2 years, I had applied, and you can only apply once. And I applied, and I kept seeing 1111. I kept seeing 1111 for 2 years, and I didn't understand it. And then I had a friend of mine, and she's like, I told her, I'm like, wow. And I didn't know about spirit numbers, and I didn't know about universe and spirit. I wasn't spiritual at that time. I was still very analytical, and I was still like, you have to have a job, and you have to work, and you have to pay your bills, and you have to die, and you have to save money. And that's how I was living, because that's how I was taught. And so I just brought it up to her because she was spiritual. And I said, I keep seeing 1111. I'm like, why do I keep seeing that? And she's like, that's universe's, well, she said God. She's like, that's God's way of saying that you're on the right path. Something big is going to happen. And I didn't think anything of it. I just kind of kept seeing it. I'm like, oh, something big's going to happen. 2 years. It took 2 years of me seeing this number. And I finally got the call just before Christmas, 2015. So at the beginning of 2014, I think it was actually the end of 2013. But anyways, beginning of 2014, I was on EI, and to the end of 2015, I had got a job in between there at an insurance company that I really loved working at. I was right down the street, 2 minutes to work. I worked with, my boss was awesome. We're still friends right now, and it was great, but it wasn't that security that I was looking for. Right, I was looking for that security, and I'm like, I can't give up a government job. Anyways, I ended up working both jobs, but the point is that I had no idea what this sign was. I had no idea that it was leading me to my position. And then that I started January. So I started the first week of January 2016, and I met my husband in March, same year. Right. So everything led up to that. If I said no to that job, because I was only working weekends at first, I never would have met my husband. I'd never be right here right now. So like, you do have to take that bird's eye view, right? Because even saying it right now, it's like, holy shit, all of this came from me seeing 11:11. Before that, I never saw anything.
And it all makes sense, right? In the moment when things are happening, you might be like, what does this mean? What's going on? But when you zoom out of your life and you just like look at it from an outsider almost, not you, but get out of your head and look at it and be like, that's why all of that happened. It makes sense now. Right. And I was chatting with a few people over the weekend, and this one person in particular, he was saying he hates making mistakes. Like he literally drives himself nuts in his mind because he's scared to make a mistake. And I said, mistakes are magical. I'm like, they literally are magical because mistakes are meant to be made, right? And people might think, well, what the hell do you mean you're supposed to make
Oh, that's
mistakes?
a little
But
bit.
how would you learn anything if you didn't make mistakes? Right? If you literally said, I'm going to stop learning, I'm going to stop doing everything, I'm just going to sit here in a bubble because I don't want to make mistakes, would you learn anything in life? Would you move forward? No, because mistakes are made and mistakes will always be a part of your life in order to learn a lesson to move forward so you can get past that and know it works or it doesn't work.
Listen, if mistakes didn't work, we wouldn't have potato chips. We wouldn't have microwave ovens. We wouldn't have penicillin, right?
Yeah.
Mistakes are meant to happen for growth, and we created all these things. And now you're probably wondering, like, well, this episode is like titled "You're a Magnet to Money." Our point is that what you focus on, you attract. Period. So if you talk about good health and the profits that you're making in your business and the money that's coming in and the happiness and the relationships, if you talk like that in the positive sense, the universe works with you. It actually shifts to give you more of that. It's like an echo, right? What you put out, you get back. So, but if you're putting out negativity or you're talking down about people or you're saying negative things about the government or the bad day that you had or getting stuck in traffic or missing a meeting, and it's going to bring more struggles to you. So the choice is yours, right? Because I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, like they want to move and they want to have, live out this dream, and but they're terrified that they won't make money. And I'm like, what does location have to do with money? Like, what does location have to do with money? I said, you lived here and you made money, and then you lived here and you made money, and you lived here and you made money. So why is it that this location specifically, you're feeling you won't make money? Because it's not the location. Money is in you. It's what you put out, you give back. So if you sit on your couch and you watch TV and you binge flip on Netflix and you scroll your phone and you don't do anything to move forward, of course you're gonna have no money and you're gonna maybe live on assistance, and you're gonna have a little bit more struggle. But if you have belief and you have desire and you talk about living this extravagant lifestyle, and you want to help people and you want to save the world, or you want to knit for the homeless, or you want to build little communities, or you want to garden, and you feel passionate about that, then that's going to lead you to make the money, right? Because that's how it works. Money is a service. My favorite thing is that people think that they just go to work and the money's there, right? But it's not. There has to be an exchange. There's an exchange of service for the money. Whether you work at McDonald's and you're selling hamburgers, or you work at an advertising company and you're selling billboards, or you work at a laundry company and you're making laundry detergent, right? There's always an exchange for the money, and you're
Mhm.
exchanging your time for the money. It might not even be something that you want to do, but you're exchanging your time for that money. Now imagine if you were put all of that, what you have inside you, and protect your time and put into something that you love to do. The money will come. It is magic. I like to say money is magic, but it's not you magically go to a job and there's magic money there. No, they are selling on the back end. They are selling and they're putting their business live, and there's IPOs, and they're selling shares, right? They're selling shares of their company to pay you. That's how it works. People are like, well, I don't know how to start a money job. I don't have any money. Go talk to a bank. Go talk to a lender. Go talk to somebody who's going to give you money to help you start your business. That's how it works.
Mhm. Absolutely, right? And it's all in your mindset. Once again, if you think it's hard to make money, it's going to be hard to make money, right? We literally attract what we're thinking about all the time. So if you're thinking about money and it being easy to make, and there's an abundance of money, and there's literally money sitting there waiting for you, that's what you're going to attract, right? Don't complain about things you didn't do and you didn't get the results that you didn't get, because that's what's going to keep happening.
Yeah.
Don't come here and tell me, Keely, I'm not getting the results because I didn't do the things that I have to do to get there,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
It's simple.
my favorite is, Sarah, I'm not getting the results. Okay, how many people did you talk to today? Oh, I didn't talk to anybody. How many people did you talk to this week? Oh, I put a post. Yeah, so did 2.65 billion other people. They put a post, right? That's what we're talking about, to do the things, the uncomfortable things.
Yeah. And it's just making up your mind that you're not going to settle for what you've been doing for the last 10 years.
Mhm.
Because what's that?
I have to say this. I watched the new Matrix this weekend, and Morpheus took the blue and red pill, just like in the original one, and he opened his hand, and Neo's like, "Not this again." And he's like, "The pills don't do anything. The pills don't do anything. It's the choice, and choice is an illusion. You already know what needs to be done, right?
Boom.
You need to know what you need to do to get where it is that you need to be. Like when I was a drug addict, I knew I needed to get rid of my friends who were keeping me addicted. I need to change my scenery. I needed to say no. I need to stop going to the bar and spending my paycheck every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And it's just about literally getting real with yourself. Like when you sit down and you may have watched every single episode of what Sarah and I put out here for you guys. You may have watched every single piece of content that we've created, and you're still saying, "Oh, where's the results?" The thing is, we can tell you all the things. You can watch us for another 5 years, but I want to tell you that your time is valuable. So spending it here with us for every single episode that we do, thank you. And like I said, we can tell you every single thing to do, but it's not what's going to happen right here. It's what you're going to do with the time after we get off, because we can't be there with you every single day, waking your ass up out of bed and say, move 1% today. We can tell you that, but we can't be there to make you do it. You have to make the decision that I'm going to take control back of my thoughts. I'm going to take a hard, real look at my life right now and think, what are the results in it? And when you do this and you look at your results and you write them down, you will see the direct reflection of the thoughts you're having, because that's what's getting you the results that you wrote down on your paper. Okay? So when you're writing all these things down and the results that you're getting, and now you're sitting here looking, thinking, well, that's why the fuck I haven't moved in 3 years, because those are the things I'm thinking. Those are the results I'm getting. So you can spend all the time with us. You can listen to us until you literally have heard enough of our voices, but it's not what you do right now. It's what you do when you get off.
Yeah.
And it's the thoughts that you're having that are going to attract. So if you're thinking it's hard, it's going to be hard. If you're thinking it's easy, you love yourself. You love what you do. You get to create a life of abundance. You get to see your family more than just 2 hours a day. You get to take those vacations without asking somebody else if you can take the vacation. You can go float in your pool in the middle of July for 3 hours and not have to worry about somebody saying, get off your floaty and get to work,
Mhm.
right? Once you make the choices of what it is you want in your life and you start thinking about, once again, like Sarah said at the beginning of this episode, when you start focusing on the end goal and the things that you want and that's the thought that you have all day. Those are the things you're thinking all day. You're going to start to attract it. You are a magnet. So, what are you choosing to attract?
Yep. And here's the thing. It's not easy. It's not always easy. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that it's so easy, even though Kaylee and I have been doing this for over 2 years. We still have our moments, right? We still have where our egos come in and try to test us and say, "Oh, are you even good enough to do this?" Right? Like it's not easy, but it's a hell of a lot easier when you are surrounded by a mastermind and you're surrounded by a coach who is there, who has been through those struggles, who are there to help you, right? And so, like, free things will only get you so much. That's why you're still stuck, because you do all the free stuff. It's free for a reason. It only gets you so much. It's why it's $1 million to work with Tony Robbins. Why? Because he makes billionaires, right? Like, he gets results. A coach helps you to get the results. But if you stay stuck and say that, oh, I'll just do the free stuff and I'll just continue to listen to this and I'll get the goodies from that, you're always going to stay stuck, right? You're always going to stay stuck. It's the difference between a Walmart wallet that you have to replace every 3 months. And in the end, you end up spending more on a wallet than a Louis Vuitton that's lasted over 2 years and it still smells and looks brand new, right? And it's less than my Walmart ones. Same with my sunglasses. Case in point, my husband, worst person to ever have sunglasses, loses every single pair 10 seconds after he gets them, sits on them, jumps in the lake with them, and loses them at the bottom of the lake. Worst person to have for sunglasses. I bought him a pair of $300 Oakleys 2 years ago, and he still has them. Why is that? The value that you put on it. It's value. When you buy them for $10 at the gas station, you don't give a shit. So you spend hundreds of dollars throughout the years buying these shitty sunglasses. But then you spend $300 once, and I've saved like $500 on sunglasses. Right? It's the value that you put over it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to
That's
say something.
everything. That's everything in life.
Everything in life. It's your finances, it's your relationship, it's your job, it's your health, it's what the food that you put into your body, it's how many times you're moving your energy, right? That's what it is. Like, are you washing your face at night? Are you brushing your teeth properly? Are you going to the dentist? Are you sleeping? Are you eating? Are you having water? It's everything. Do you value yourself enough to move forward, or are you going to stay stuck? And I want to read you a part of what is the power from the power. It says, if you parrot negative things and squawk about the things you don't love, you literally are jailing yourself like a parrot in a cage. Every time you talk about what you don't love, you are adding another bar to the cage and you are locking yourself away from all the good. People who talk about what they love live better lives, period. You can see it. You can see it in relationships. You can see it in the way they vacation. You can see it in the way they talk to people, right? And so by doing so, they gain unlimited access to a great fucking life. And it all comes from the power of our thoughts. And I know you're probably sitting here thinking, Sarah, you're fucking crazy. It's just a thought. But think about it. Literally think about it. I had this conversation yesterday with somebody and they were talking about fear. And I said, what's the fear? I said, tell me the fear. Write it all out. And she wrote it out in this chat. And I said, has this ever happened before? And she said, no. And I'm like, then where did it come from? Where did the fear come from? You literally are making this shit up and it hasn't even happened.
Mm-hmm. So true.
My name's Sarah and I'm done talking.
I love you. But it's so true, right? It's absolutely true. And like we say this every single time we talk to you guys, and it's literally that simple. And if you are in a place where you've been doing all these things and it's still not working, talk to us. Like, there is a way to make it work. And if you're in a place where you're realizing right now just by listening to us that your thoughts are all negative and you are keeping yourself stuck, start with gratitude. Literally start your morning with gratitude. Wake up and think of 5 things that you're grateful for. Because when you think about something, that's what your mind sucks more of, right? So if you're thinking of something that you love, you're going to raise your vibration and you're going to think more of what you love. Okay. So if you're in a place right now where you're completely stuck and you're like, I just want to feel happy, I haven't smiled in months, I just want to smile, do more of what you love. Because when you do more of what you love and you make that choice for yourself, first of all, you're going to love what you're doing because you love it. You're going to feel incredible because you gave yourself the power and chose to do that thing that you love. And your vibration is going to raise and you're going to feel so good right off the bat before you even maybe get out of bed in the morning. You're already thinking these things. Your entire life changes quickly when you start with gratitude.
Yeah. And I always try to think of things that I'm grateful for that, are the little things like my pillow and like the way it just forms to my head. Like I just love it. And every night, I swear I'm not even joking. You can ask Donnie this. When we go to bed and we lay in bed, you get on their comforters, I'm like, babe, I love this bed. Like I'm so grateful for this bed. And it's like so comfy and we just kind of like move around in bed. And and I'm grateful that Donnie and I go to bed at the same time. That's something that I've never experienced before, and a lot of couples don't go to bed at the same time, right? So that running water. I will never ever get sick of saying that I am so grateful for warm running water from a tap because there are millions of people who will never get to experience that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So start with gratitude. And the more you practice this, the more you yourself will become aware of thoughts that are negative, that aren't serving you almost immediately as they enter your mind. So the more that you practice this and you can be aware of thoughts entering your mind that aren't serving you towards that crystal clear end goal that you have, you'll be able to automatically dismiss it and flip it to something positive.
Yeah.
And that's where you want to get to in life. You want to get to that point where before you know it, we're human, negative thoughts still come, but you're going to notice a lot less negative in your mind and a lot less negative in your life.
Yeah.
So, on the terms of that, we don't keep you guys all day, but we are going to be doing an event on February 12th, and we're actually doing writing a love letter to money. So, it's right around Valentine's Day. We want to get you into, because it's the end of January already, we want to get you into the abundant mindset. So, this is the year that you can finally say that you've been saying the last 10 years, I want an abundant life, I want a successful life, I want a happy life. Do that. So register. I'll put the link below in the description so you can register. That's on February 12th, and it's going to be about an hour long. And we're really going to slow down thought and think about money and think about how we treat money.
Yep.
So
We'll
super
put the link
excited for that.
below. Put the link below so you can register. There will be a PDF included as well that you'll need to bring to the event. And we've also changed our email. So now we have a new email. It's hello@moneymakehers, HERS.ca. So you can always send us an email.
Awesome. Yeah. So get registered. We'll see you there and have an absolutely amazing Monday and amazing week until we see you back here on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.